everybody! Happy Monday! Welcome to a Jayda InStitches live stream. We're going to make ourselves a gift card envelope today. A sweet little way to send a Valentine. We have a tutorial for it. It is on our channel somewhere, and if it's not linked in today's description box, I'll make sure it's there by the end of the day. So you can pop over and check out the original tutorial if you want. It was one of the first ones we did. So we are going back in time about 10 years exactly here. So this is sort of like an anniversary Valentine. Anyway, thought it was a nice little thing to do today. You're going to need a handful of things, including a needle and thread and a button. I am going to grab my pile of buttons in a minute. I thought I would just get into the crochet before I started rooting around in my button chest. And before I get to that, Joanne, thank you for picking up a pattern. A big thank you to Nico, who gifted a membership. Crochet Crazy won it. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much, Nico. Jessica Rabbit had a membership milestone. She's having a real January and is sort of appreciative of crochet and our favorite video game, Stardew Valley. And I have to concur. It's helping save my sanity. Crochet, of course, is just simply awesome and does that too. And we do have a written pattern for today's little envelope. It's one of our bargain patterns. You'll find it up top in the featured section of our Etsy shop. Mr. InStitches has linked the Etsy link at the top of the chat. So if you want to check that out, please feel free. And thank you so much for your support. Let's do some crochet. This is so much a scrap project. You can see I grabbed my bags of scraps. This is this little thing that I did the other day where I just sorted everything into colors and put them into Ziploc bags. It's like the best thing ever. Now there's no dust. These things don't unwind anymore. I just kind of grab the bag, root through it, grab the color I want, push the air out of it, zip it up and toss it back in its little bin. And it's been keeping everything so neat and tidy. And the best part, when little Miss Penny, our pup, runs into the craft room, she can't just immediately grab a ball of yarn. There is no ball of yarn to grab. So this is just great on all accounts. I'm going to put my needle and thread to the side. You can do all one yarn. You don't have to use multiple yarns, but the original pattern did call for striping. I'm going to do that. If I have time today, I'm also going to whip one up with this. In fact, I might do that at the same time. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but I like to zip between two things. Pair of scissors, yarn needle. I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook, which is also a 7, but you could use a G6, which is a 4.25 millimeter hook. Those are very negligible bunch of difference. So either hook is fine. And size 4 medium weight yarn, lightweight acrylic DK, you can probably get away with too. And like the weight category 4 kind of can go one way or the other. So I think you can get away with either. But if you're unsure, have grab one of the cards out of your wallet, like a credit card, debit card. All these cards are the same size, and just have it somewhere nearby, and you can measure your foundation chain against it. And that's really all you need. So let's get going. I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I might start with some pink and some red because I love pink and red together. Pink and red makes me think of candy. So I'm going to use these two. I'll probably need to get into this one as well. Maybe I'll just sneak in some white. Maybe I'll use pinks. That's even got some hair in it. Boy, I am really digging to the bottom of the barrel. I'll get my hair out of the way. Don't need to put that into an envelope. Yeah, let's do red and pink and white. I'll do 3 different colors today. And then I can zipper these shut. Haha. Put them off to the side. And I'll pull some white out of my other little... I had some brown here because I was thinking like literally chocolate. But maybe I'll use that for something else. And I think I'm going to use up more of that. This is cotton. It's that white cotton that I used over, what was it? I used this just briefly with you guys. It was last live stream. My brain is flatlining. What the heck did I use it for? I can't remember. But it's got a little, oh, it's for the January. I wrote January. I'm going to use it because I want to use it up. It's cotton, but I don't really care about mixing it with acrylic because this isn't the kind of project that I'm going to wash. It's just an envelope. So I'm going to use that up. All right, here we go. You need, I don't know, 15 yards of 30 yards total. So like if you were doing a 2-color stripe thing, 15 yards each, 3 colors, 10 yards each, 1 color, 30 yards. You get the idea. You need about 30 yards for this project. I'm going to start with this pink and hook, yarn. Here we go. We are going to chain 22. Now I say 22 because that is the number that I know will create a foundation chain row that will be long enough, or I should say wide enough. Your foundation chain row is the determining factor for the width of your envelope. So let me see here. Mr. InStitches is on the computer today. Our little Penny's giving him a bit of a break. Okay, so there's 22. So if you've got the gift card handy, you do your 22 chains and put the card down in front of you. This should be wider than your gift card. That's basically all you're going for. It should be wider by a couple chains on either side. If that's the case, you're good, because you don't need this envelope to be much bigger than the gift card, but you don't want it to be smaller. A snug fit is actually quite nice. If it's a little bigger, that's fine. But if it's too small, then I would just add a couple chains. The stitch count can vary. It can be any number of chains you need it to be. For example, if you had chunky yarn you wanted to use up and you're using a slightly bigger hook, you probably wouldn't need all 22 chains, but I would say go with the 22 chains just for simplicity's sake. But if you were using a much finer weight yarn and a smaller hook, you would probably need to do more chains. The number of chains isn't important. We're going to use the single crochet stitch, so you're only ever going to skip one chain and single crochet into the second chain and single crochet in each chain across. So we're going to have 21 stitches. So whatever number of foundation chains you make, for me was 22, you'll have exactly one less than that as your final stitch count for each row. So 22 foundation chains equals 21 stitches in each row, because we're using the single crochet stitch. If you needed 30 chains, then you'd have 29 stitches in each row, etc. So like I said, doesn't matter. You can have as many foundation chains as you need to make sure that you're just a little wider than the width or the length of your gift card. And that's it. You can put the card to the side. You might want to double check it once more a little ways into this tutorial when we finally need to turn it into an envelope, but I'd say 22 chains is good for most people. Single crochet in the second chain from the hook, single crochet in each stitch across. You'll have 21 stitches at the end of the row, or one less stitch than you had foundation chains. I'm still pulling little bits of fluff out of this. There we go. That's row 1. Row 2 and row 3, goodness me, Joya, thank you so much for picking up the pattern. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chain 1 turn at the end of every row, unless you are changing colors. So I'm going to single crochet in every stitch all the way across. Looks like I'm going to have to tie in more yarn here, which is perfectly fine. That's the whole point of using up my scraps. I will tie in this pink, which it looks like I will probably use up rather quickly as well. Doesn't bother me. There, tying in that yarn. It's a little candy, like a little candy envelope. I'm going to single crochet over top of that little knot. This little tail wants to twist up and get in the way. Maybe one more over there. All right, if I've got any little tail ends that are left out in the breeze, I will get rid of them later on. Yes, thank you, Nancy. I used that white with the tinsel in it back when I was making the January. So funny. Sometimes I can remember that I used a yarn, but my brain can't tell me what it was that I made. It wasn't even that long ago. It was like last week. Goodness gracious. Okay, so that's the end of row 2. I want to do 3 rows of the same color before I change colors, but here's the thing. This is a real scrap project. So if you wanted to change colors every 2 rows, you totally could. If you wanted to change colors every row, you totally could. And if you just wanted to magic ball it and just sort of tie in a new color when one little scrap ran out, you can do that too. Chain 1 turn at the end of row 2, single crochet in every single stitch all the way across. I may just have enough of this pink yarn to do this 3rd row before I switch to, I think I'm going to switch to red, and then I'm going to switch to white. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you guys could make it. It is a Monday. It's the first Monday in February. I am so grateful to be in February and away from January. I feel like the days are getting longer. I know they are. I can look out my window at 5 o'clock and it's not completely pitch black. And the sun is shining today, so that's a good show. Hopefully the temperatures will start to improve and spring will come again. I love it. A little sip of my coffee, keep me going. Okay, so here we go. That is row 3 complete. So that's 3 rows of pink. I'm going to change color every 3 rows, just like it says in the original pattern and tutorial. But like I said, you can change color anytime you want. I'm going to just fasten off. I will be crocheting over top of my little tails. So fasten off and turn your work. I'm going to switch now to red. And let's see, I guess I'll just use this outside end. I'm not going to use much of it. I'm going to put that pink to the side. I will use it. Make a slip knot. I'm going to join my yarn with a single crochet in that first stitch over top of that little tail. And I'm going to work over top of both of those short tails and single crochet in every stitch all the way across. So I'm still going to have 21 stitches in the row. Goodness me, Lori, thank you so much for picking up the pattern. Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. I like making envelopes out of crocheted patterns. So I really like making crochet envelopes because 1, it's a fun way to use up scraps. 2, the gift, like the gift envelope or the packaging is as much a gift as the gift itself. And 3, it's reusable. People can turn around and reuse them again, which I love. I love the idea of something that I made, you know, kind of traveling around through different people's hands because it's reusable. It can be re-gifted, as they say. Hello, Victoria. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And congratulations to Nora. Nora has won it. Welcome to the family, Nora. Thank you. All right, if you're unsure when you get to the end of your row, you want to remember you've got to have the same number of stitches in every row, so you can just quickly count them up here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. 21 is the number I'm supposed to have. Chain 1 turn, and that's all we do. Chain 1 turn at the end of every row, single crochet in each stitch across. The only time you don't chain 1 and turn is if you're changing colors. So if you finish a row, you want to change colors, just fasten off at the end of the row, and then turn. And then join your new yarn with a single crochet, and that negates needing to have a chain 1 turn. The chain 1 doesn't actually count as anything. It's just our turning the corner. It stops your first single crochet from being squished. And make sure you don't miss that first stitch. Chain 1 turn. It's a birthday. Debbie's having a birthday. I know. The milestones. Ugh. Happy birthday, Debbie, anyway. Happy birthday to the February babies. You know what? This is how I would look at it, Debbie. Around here, anyway, February is kind of a blah month. So it's kind of nice to have an excuse to celebrate. Have something to celebrate. We've just had Groundhog Day. I think the Lunar New Year just passed. So we're in the year of the snake now, which I'm actually pretty delighted about because that's my year. So hopefully 2025 will be a year to thrive, especially for us snakes. So, you know, there's Did we miss Deanna's milestone? Did I? Did I? Goodness gracious, I did! Deanna, I'm so sorry, my sweet. I missed your milestone. That's how tuned into this table I am, and I think I just missed Meg. Okay, I'm going to catch up. Deanna, thank you, Deanna. Deanna has a membership milestone here. Thank you for pointing it out, everybody. Deanna says, I love my crochet family around the world. Blessings. I heartily agree. Yes. Thank you. I'm so sorry I missed that first time round. Thank you for pointing that out. And I think that was Meg. Did I see Meg's name? I did. Meg, thank you so much for picking up the pattern. Thank you, Meg. Okay, I'm back. We did. That was Meg. Okay. All right. I've got, did I do 3 rows already? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was fast. Okay, I've done 3 rows already in red. My goodness, this goes quickly, especially when you're chit-chatting. Speaking of chit-chatting, on February the 11th, I just made a little post about this on our post tab. So, in their infinite wisdom, YouTube has decided to rename the community tab to posts. So if you're wondering what happened to the community tab, it's still there. It's just called posts because I guess somebody in the marketing department was like, you know what? I think like posts is probably like way more interesting than like community. I think community is too long a word. I don't know what they were thinking, but that's my impression of YouTube marketing division. Anyhow, they've changed community to posts. So if you're looking for it, that's what it's called. And over there on that page is where we post everything for family members, all of our wonderful subscribers, and just the general public sometimes if we've got stuff to put out there. So make sure you check out the posts page because the posts page is where a lot of fun posts go. And I just posted that on February the 11th, I've got a coffee date with Julianne over at Frizzy Bee Crochet. We're going to have a little chit chat. So if you want to hang out and watch what happens with that, there's a video link there. You can just click on the notify me button and you'll be notified when it comes around. Because I know February 11th is actually still quite a ways away. Joining with a single crochet with my new color. I've switched to white now. And here we go, single crochet in every single stitch all the way across. I'm also taking the opportunity to single crochet over those little short tails because I am lazy and I don't want to have to bother to weave them in later. The ding! I forgot I had the bell. The bell, you've got the bell, that helps so much. Hi Gina, thank you Mr. InStitches. There's Gina with a membership milestone. Gina has been a member for 57 months, holy cow, thank you so much Gina. Gina says, hi, so happy to spend my birthday morning crocheting with you. Oh my gosh, it's your birthday too! Happy birthday Gina! That's Debbie and Gina. Anybody else having a birthday today? Congratulations. Happy birthday. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here for another trip around the sun. That is what it's all about. And what a beautiful sunny day it is, too. Mondays are so much better now that I get to hang out with you guys and crochet. All right. I'll be so happy to see the other end of this yarn. This white yarn is a lovely white color. I do like the effect of the little tinsely shiny bit that runs through it. It does give it a little bit of interest, but my gosh, is it a problem to crochet with. Because of that tinsel, it makes it very wiggly and it doesn't want to flow neatly through my fingers. And as I do this, it doesn't tangle, but it just pushes the twist ever so tighter back to the ball, and it makes it want to twist and roll and tangle, and I will just be so happy to have used it all up. But it does look nice there. Chain 1, turn, single crochet in every stitch all the way back. Okay, I should probably give some row counts. We know that we've got to have the same stitch count per row. So in my case, it's 21 stitches every row. We're using the single crochet. Why are we using single crochet? Because it is a small, dense stitch, and you cannot really see through it. So whatever you might have hiding in your gift card envelope or whatever you might be using your envelope for, you can't see it. It's like nice little gift wrapping. There's no peekaboo, and nothing's going to fall through single crochet. So single crochet is our stitch, and we want to do 30 rows in total. And the only caveat to that is if you're using a different weighted yarn, like a skinnier yarn, you might have to do more rows. Because what we want to do is to be able to have your gift card covered on one side. Sharon, thank you for picking up the pattern. have it covered on the other side when you fold it and still have a few rows, about 6 of them, to fold down on top. So you need to be able to fold your card completely inside it. It has to be hidden by it. And then you've got to have another 6 rows to fold over top to create the little flap for our actual envelope. So 30 is the number of rows in the original pattern, but you can make as many rows as you need in order to get that effect. And I will show you what I'm talking about once I have 30 rows. I don't have a gift card handy. But any card will do. So if you're unsure, any of the cards in your wallet will do. Look, I chained one because I'm in the habit. Don't have to. I've done 3 rows now of white. When you're ready to change colors, you don't have to chain one at the end of the row. You can just fasten off. Take your next color and join it. And I used up all that nice bright pink already. So I am 3, 6, 9 rows into this already. I'm a third of the way done. Now I will turn, and I need some more pink. So I go back to my pink stash. I like that. I like that. That's really close to my red though. I think I'll save that back. I'll use this bright pink. This is more of a DK weight that I've got here, but like I said, doesn't really matter. A ding ding. Hello, Becky. Thank you, Mr. InStitches. Becky's been a member for 7 months. Thank you, Becky. Becky with a membership milestone says, joining was my best decision. Oh, thank you. My most favorite community. It's the best one on the internet, I swear. Thank you, Jayda and Mr. for the videos, tutorials, patterns, and fantastic ideas. I appreciate you. We appreciate you too, Becky. We appreciate all of you. And you know what? Joyce said something to me at the shop this morning. She was yet another person to pop in and let me know that the community tab seemed to be missing. Like I said, it's been renamed to posts, but I'm really grateful. Anytime any of you see something that looks a bit hinky, I love it when you pop in and let me know, because having extra eyeballs out there is really great. Tracy, thank you so much for picking up the pattern. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the things that Joya said was that she loves to go to the community page, now the posts page, for all of the fun inspiration that is there, because we love to post pictures from the community of all the different projects that we're doing. And everybody's different take on it. And everybody has a different take on these things, which is awesome. And sometimes when you're kind of like, I don't know, do I want to do this project? What colors do I want to do? I'm not sure. Sometimes when you see somebody else do it, it just sparks something. And you're like, yes, that right there. That's what I want to do. All right, so this is much skinnier yarn. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to join with a slip stitch, or I'm sorry, a single crochet. Joining with a single crochet and single crochet in every single stitch all the way across, and I'm still crocheting over top of those little short tails. And when you join with a single crochet over top of a knot, sometimes it looks like the stitch itself is like inset a little bit. If it's really kind of annoying, just grab the top of the stitch and pull the yarn tail of the previous row into the row a little bit more as you pull in the opposite direction, and that will help bury it. There you go. And now it's not inset or pulled in too far. The only reason I don't like that is not so much that ultimately, like, it would disappear because we're putting a little border on this, but it can be missed when you're crocheting back and forth. So little fixes as you go. It's literally that old saying, a stitch in time saves 9. Alberta! Welcome to the family, Alberta. Thank you for joining. I will say ding ding because I can hear the Mr. busily typing over there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A fabulous little scrap buster. Oh, and also, can I just say, you can use whatever scraps you've got. So the fiber doesn't really matter. You can mix fibers in this project. So if you're really hoping to use up a whole bunch of scraps that you might have lying around, then this'll be the one for you. All right, again, I want to make sure I've still got 21 stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Good-o. Chain 1 turn, single crochet in every single stitch all the way across. If you wanted to get a little crazy and you've got fairly tight tension. You could sneak in the odd row of half double crochet if you wanted to. I love half double crochet because it's a little taller than a single, but it's still kind of tight and snug. You can't really see through it. So if you wanted to, like if you were using, like, see how this DK weight yarn is much smaller. I've just completed my second row in that DK weight, and I feel like it's a lot skinnier maybe than like the first 2 rows of my first pink. You could, if you wanted to, sneak in a row of half double crochet. So let's just do that just for fun. I'm going to sneak in a row of half double crochet. It will also make it a little more interesting because a half double crochet is visible in a sea of single crochets. It does stand out. And this will make that row of pink a little thicker, and why not? So you don't have to do this, but if you feel like you've switched to a yarn that's really, really skinny and you don't want one of your stripes to look sort of ridiculously thin, this could be the answer for that. Half double crochet is still a nice dense little stitch, and I've snuck it in now. There you go. So now I'm pretty happy that that row of pink looks relatively similar to this one. It certainly is the same height as that row of red. There. Okay. Snip that.
Some people can still see the community tab, so I guess it's going to be kind of a slow roll.
It might also be that if you haven't updated, so I don't know if you just heard Mr. say that some people can still see, so it's still saying community tab to some people and not posts. Could be the device you're on, could be the software you're using. Your software may need to be updated. Some Chrome software or Google software auto updates depending on the device, and some you have to go in and update it yourself. So if you're not seeing it say posts yet, it might be that. It could just be a slow rollout. Hello, Vima! Oh my gosh, Vima with a super sticker. Thank you so much, Vima. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Vima's in the house with a whole lot of love. Thank you, Vima. Thank you so much. I love the little hearts. Those are so sweet. Vima's also been extremely busy on her channel lately. If you guys are looking for some fun little projects, especially a really cute hat project, check out Vima's channel. She's also been super busy adding crochet tutorials that are wonderful and timely right now. So many of us are have got channels going. I love all of the different content. So many people are doing, like, not everybody does tutorials like Vima and myself. A lot of us like to vlog. Some of us just want to do show and tells. I think it's great. You know, if you love a hobby, there just isn't enough. There isn't enough content associated with that hobby to gulp in a day. That's my feeling. Like, I love sewing. I love sewing so much that there's never enough sewing content. All right, I'm back to red. Oh, don't you just love red, pink, and white? It looks like candy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Chain 1, turn. That's row 1. I'm going to do 2 more rows in red. Another nice thing about doing the same number of rows per color is that it makes counting all your rows a whole lot easier because you've got these nice visual indicators. So I can count by 3s until I get to 30 and know that I've done enough rows. I'm on the website, Summer, and on the computer it says posts now and not community. So I haven't actually... Have I looked on the tablet? I will look right now. Why not? Yes, it is. It does say community. It says it says posts on the tablet. So it no longer says community, it says posts. And on the computer it says posts. It no longer says community. So software updates?
The link, everyone checked, the community post link still works.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Community tab link.
Thank you for checking that, everybody. See, what a great group. Super helpful.
we go. 3, 2, 1.
Little reward from the mister. Ding a ding ding. Yay! Mr. InStitches has just gifted 5 memberships. Congratulations! Here they come rolling in. Shell, woohoo! Shell, Amelia, Linda, Deborah, and Natalie. Natalie Firecracker. What an awesome name. Welcome back and welcome to the family. Thank you, Mr. InStitches. That's a happy Groundhog Day gift from Mr. InStitches. All right, that's 3 rows of red. Now I'm going back to white. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I am halfway through my little envelopes crochet. I will use up this tiny little scrap and then I will tie in the rest of the white. Ah, scraps. So happy to use them all up. Oh, what a mess. This silly tinsel. Oh, I'm at the end. All right. Got to tie in my yarn. Let me just pull that back out a little bit. A ding, ding, ding. Hello, Holly. Welcome to Alpaca. Thank you for joining the family. Thank you, Holly. Oh, you know what? This is driving me crazy. It's this tinsel. It got all bunched up. There we go. I think I fixed it. It's pretty, but annoying. Like some people I know.
We're starting the trend. No Troll February.
No Troll February. I like that.
Can't troll me when I'm gifting memberships.
No trolling from Ms. Shell anymore.
No.
Too bad too, because Shell's a pretty great troll. I mean that in like the best possible way, Shell. All right, I've tied in the rest of my white yarn, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm trying to get all these little tiny tinsel ends tucked in. There we go.
No snack march.
No snack march.
Absolutely not.
There we go. I'll worry about that later. Okay. Chain 1 turn. Yes, I agree, Dawn. Winter can go anytime and not come back. I am so over winter. I like it for about 2 months. I think
Yeah,
as about
2 months and that's it.
I think I can handle winter for about 2 months. I love how beautiful the snow looks on things. I like the crisp mornings. I like how the sun looks on the snow. I love a particularly cold day when you walk outside and everything's sparkling like diamonds. I love the sound of particularly cold snow sounding like styrofoam under my feet. I love really fluffy snowstorms where it comes down and it's silly fun to shovel because it's so light and fluffy it almost gets out of your way as you put the shovel towards it. I love those moments in the winter. I love beautiful, bright, clear, starry nights. I love seeing my breath, you know, but 2 months of that, and then all of a sudden I become very aware of how much I have to bundle up before I leave the house, how I have to be careful where I put my feet down because I don't want to slip, you know, getting the car started and having to let it warm up for 10 minutes because it's just encrusted in ice and snow. I'm over that. Trying to drive in the snowy weather is terrifying, and the older I get, the worse it gets. So yeah, I'm ready for spring now. Those groundhogs had better have done their job. I didn't actually see any of the results. What were the results from the groundhogs? Anybody?
6 more weeks.
6 more weeks? Oh, how lovely.
But you have to watch. There's so many of them. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I guess, well, it depends on where you are. So
Ontario,
not everybody's going to have the same weather, obviously.
Nova Scotia.
Is the lobster in Nova Scotia or is it Newfoundland? we've got Shubenacadie Sam.
The Wyerton Willie.
There's Wyerton Willie. There's Puxatawny Phil. That's 3 rows away.
No, new member.
Well, hello, Pamela. Welcome to Alpaca. Welcome back to the family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody, if you're just joining us. Oh, my God. Rob, that blasted rodent said 6 more weeks. I say we make stew of them, LOL. I agree. Anybody up for some groundhog stew?
There's a Buckeye Chuck in Ohio.
A what?
Buckeye.
Oh, Buckeyed Chuck.
And the Nova Scotia lobster is named Lucy.
Lucy the lobster. That's right, Nova Scotia. Well, all the collection of these. I mean, I'd love to see that round table. Wouldn't you love to see that round table? Like a lobster, a bunch of groundhogs. All right, guys. They're drinking coffee. They look exhausted. They've all got bedhead. So, man, this is like the stress levels are really high. You know. They're all in torn pajamas. They're all popping like antidepressant pills. What's it going to be this year? Do we want to risk upsetting the humans? Back to pink, and then I'll be back to red again.
There's also a Stanton Island Chuck.
A Stanton Island Chuck. Wow.
Puxatawny Phil. Yes. Oh, there's an armadillo in Texas, Bob.
Texas has an armadillo? Oh my gosh. Okay, that's too cute.
Yeah.
Aww. The Milwaukee Zoo uses goats?
I guess all animals have a bit of a...
Thank you, Pamela.
Bit of a skill.
I would think so, yeah.
Sense.
I think a lot of animals probably have a sense. I know it was the cutest thing, you guys. We got no exaggeration, over 1.5 feet of snow the other day. It was very light and fluffy, and I think we were in a very unique little area where it was like just suddenly super cold, and it was falling like at a rate of like 2 inches an hour. It was so much, and it was so fluffy that whenever I would go out to shovel, because I need to keep a little area clean for the puppy, it was just a joke. It was just rooster tailing off of my shovel. It was just like floating out of the way. It was so light and fluffy, but it was still quite a lot of it, and you still want to get on top of it because it will compress and then freeze, and then you've got a problem. So I'm out there shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. And the next morning I go out and I'm shoveling, and I'm marveling at how beautiful it is. It's light, it's fluffy. There's like just unbelievable drifts up past my hips. I can't believe it. It's sparkling because it's a sunny day. And I look up in one of the trees and I see one of the squirrels. And I had just cleared off the snack deck for the birds and squirrels and put some birdseed down. And I went, "Hi, buddy, it's over there." I was kind of like gesturing at it, and I was looking at him sitting up in the tree looking at me. And then I had a moment of empathy or something, and I recognized, hey, if I was the size of the squirrel, this would be an absolute nightmare. How is he supposed to get from that tree all the way over to the feeding deck where there isn't necessarily a full line of trees that he could get between? And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at him seeing me realize, like, just, for me, it's like 3 steps. For him, it's half a day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went and I got the bag of peanuts, and I looked at him, and I took a big handful of peanuts in my hand, and I said, okay. And the blue jays are all looking at me like, where are you going to put those? I said, I'm going to throw these as close to you as I can. So I heaved 2 big, massive handfuls of peanuts right at his tree, hoping they would hit the tree and just fall to the bottom. And they did. I got a bunch at him, and he watched them all fall, and then he went zipping down the tree. And that made me feel so good. I felt so bad for the little guy.
Read Summer's comment there. The last 2 years.
Summer says, the last 2 years, the mayors in our county have used a guinea pig that is adoptable from the local pet store. What a great idea.
Like that.
Aw, I love guinea pigs. Wee, 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 wee. fun idea. Now, like, you know, a guinea pig is pretty much afraid of everything. So I'm going to guess that a guinea pig always sees its shadow and runs back inside to its pigloo. I've still got 21 stitches all the way across. I'm still single crocheting, but like I did with the last couple rows of this particular yarn, I'm going to do a row of half double crochet as the third row of the color, just to try and keep the stripe the same height, because why not? And this is a self-striping yarn, so it's going to gradually fade from a richer pink to a slightly lighter pink, but I don't really care. This is just a scrap project after all. So now I'm still using the chain one turn, even if I'm using a row of half double crochet, because it makes for a nice neat edge. And I'm going to pause and count up my rows in a moment. I want 30 rows in total. Pamela's asking when the February project comes out. Every unblanket, in this case, every calendar blanket project we've ever done, it's always the first Friday of the month. So always look for if you're checking your calendar, look for the first Friday of the month, and that's the day that our next installments come out. The only exceptions to that are January, when we usually announce the project halfway through the month, because we've taken a break. And occasionally we move things around, depending on how December lands. We sometimes move things around a little bit for December, just because we know people are eager to get the projects finished, usually for Christmas presents. So sometimes we move up the project release for December. Not always. It just depends on how December lands. But every other month, it's always the first Friday. So that's 3 rows of the pink. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I am getting close. Okay, so back to red. So joining with a single crochet, back to red. And then it looks like I might be finishing with white. No, I'll be finishing with pink. You want to hide that corner, hide that stitch. That's the way to do it. There's something, these little projects too, so this is another little thing. Other than it being a scrap project, which is already great, and it being an envelope, and of course you can make these in any colors you want, and they're a great little way to sort of present a gift card, or other small little gifts, or even little handmade cards if you want to make your own little cards or something. Other than those being extremely useful, you can whip a bunch of these up and put them in your Make-A-Head stash so that you've got a cute little gift card holder if you need one. You don't always have to have a reason to make it if you're just, want to sit and do some crocheting or use up some scraps or something. The other thing you might want to consider is that this is a good warm-up project. So if you are going to sit down and work on a big whip, and your hands are cold, your hands are sore, your wrists are sore, maybe you haven't crocheted in a while and you're not sure what your tension is going to be like. This is one of those little, well, I'll just grab my bag of scraps and start making an envelope. This is one of those little projects that lets you warm up your hands, your wrists, kind of get back into the swing of things. And it gets your tension back to whatever it usually is. So it's a good little warm-up project. That's 2 rows, chain 1 turn, and 1 more row of red. This is No Name Red. I got a whole bunch of it at a dollar store years ago. And it's so no name I don't even have the the tags for it or the labels for it anymore. But I remember it being, I thought, oh, that's a nice bright red. So I got a whole bunch of it. And it's not great acrylic, but it sure is nice, and like it sure does move smoothly. Like I'm able to crochet nice and quick with it, so I'm happy to use it up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. I need to do 3 rows of white, and then I'll be finishing with this pink. Yeah, why not? Okay. Joining with a single crochet. There we go. And single crochet in every stitch across. I should still have 21 stitches. I will double check when I get to the end of the row. I often like to do that when I change colors, just because the stitches at the end of the rows can sometimes look a little small, and there can be a bit of an optical illusion. Like I don't necessarily feel like I'm looking at all 21 stitches. So whenever you might think, uh-oh, did I miss a stitch? Did I drop a stitch or whatever? Just pause and count. Better to check when you're unsure than, you know, think, oh, I'm sure it's fine, and then get several rows in and be, oh man, you know, like, and then have to take a bunch of crochet out. I don't like to frog if I don't have to. Nico! Thank you so much, Nico! Nico has gifted another membership. And congratulations to Kristen. Kristen has won it. Welcome to the family. Thank you, Nico. All right, chain 1 turn. Let me just double check all my stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. Perfect. Hi, miss. I hear, hi, baby. You want to come up on a visit? Hi. Hang on. Let me get my leg down. Come here, you.
I forgot the cage wasn't.
Yeah, come here,
the
baby.
gate wasn't up.
Come here, you. Oh, I know you were having a nap, and now you're so happy.
She wants
I
to
know.
say hi.
Hi, babies. Gonna say hi to everybody? Oh my gosh. This bundle of energy. Oh. You want to say hi? I don't want you to grab that. No. Careful. Oh my gosh. Okay. Lots of love and hate. Oh my gosh. Wagging tail, everybody. Wagging tail.
It's going too fast for the camera to catch it.
She likes to get up on my shoulder like she thinks she's a parrot or something.
Oh, there's her little tail. There's her little tail.
Okay.
Okay, come here, you.
Thank you, baby.
Come here, you.
I'll see
she
you in a little
probably
bit.
needs a bathroom break.
Yes, she probably does. Okay.
Okay, come on.
Happy tails. All right. BFDIA Gamer Tennis Ball. That is a great name. Welcome to the family. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Very happy puppy. She's so cute. That's the thing that I like about I guess dogs in general. I don't have a tremendous amount of experience with dogs, but you know, they go for a nap. They go outside for 5 seconds. You leave the room for two seconds, and then they re-greet you like they haven't seen you in a year. It's just it makes you feel pretty special. All right, so I've got 4 more rows after this one before I have completed all 30. I will be so happy to be finished with this white yarn. See how much slower I have to crochet because it wants to twist and wriggle in my fingers. Almost. I don't think I'm going to completely use it all up, but I'll be darn close. 1 more row, chain 1 turn, single crochet in every single stitch all the way across. I have to keep kind of smoothing it out. It wants to squiggle and wiggle. Just going to have a little. All right, come here. No knots this late in the game. No, thank you. There we go. Haha. And then so I'm going to finish this row. That'll be the last 3 rows of white. I'm going to switch back to pink. And I will do my last 3 rows, and that will give me my full-sized rectangle. So 30 rows at 21 stitches each row. And that is the whole rectangle. It'll be more than large enough for a gift card because I used a 4.5mm hook. And some of this yarn was pretty thick. But that's the whole point. It's got to be at least wide enough that your card will fit into it. And then, like I said, you want to be able to have it. So I've got 3 rows. I've got 3 more rows to do. 6 rows at least for your fold over flap. So if you were making sort of your own custom number of stitches and rows and whatnot, I know my gift card will easily fit in that pocket. And then of course you need a flap to come over. So I say at least 6 rows for the fold over. So I still have a little bit of that yarn. I'm going to switch now to new member. Yes, I got the new member. Thank you, Miss. I did. Thank you, Mr. InStitches. Mr. Tennis Ball, or the BFDIA Gamer Tennis Ball. I love that. Mr. InStitches, just want to make sure that I didn't miss the new member. Thank you, thank you. Joining with a single crochet. So I'm on my last stripe. These are my last 3 rows of regular back and forth single crochet. And I am going to continue to I'm going to do that 3rd row in half double crochet again, just because this pink is so skinny. I'm just pulling that stitch to the edge. There we go. All right. And I'm still single crocheting over top of my little tails, excuse me. Getting to the end. Then I'm going to have to go and grab my stash of buttons. So you'll hear me rummaging around in my craft cupboard in a moment. I've got needle and thread here, but I just hadn't really chosen a button before we got going today. I have a lot of really cute buttons, and this is another fun little project. So I talked about sort of using it to use up your stash with. Great. Using it to use up your scraps, which is great. But you've also, if you've got like a nice button collection and you wind up with like that one spare button from having done another project or something, these are the little projects you can use up those single cute buttons on. Hello, Katrina. Katrina's Crochet Hook and Loops. Love it. Welcome back to the family. Thank you so much.
We got a milestone.
We've got a new member. Mr. InStitches giving me a delayed ding, I think. I don't think I've missed anybody else. There we go. Chain 1 turn, and I'm going to do a row of half double crochet here. I also love how this looks kind of gnarly. This is another thing that I think is fun about this project. So I've been changing colors. I've been using different weights of yarn, because let's face it, not all these weights are the same. I've got, like, it just looks a little gnarly, especially along the edges. It's another reason I like this kind of project, because we completely erase those edges when we turn this into an envelope. So it's a fun way to just sort of suddenly neaten everything up. I wonder if this is going to wind up being slightly turquoise. This is an old ball of, this was an ice cream. I think this was a Lion Brand ice cream big scoop that I'm just using up the tail end of. So it had a lot of pink in it and then a little bit of turquoise. So this might end up having a little bit of turquoise in it. Not that I mind. All right, so there I go. I've just finished with a row of half double crochet. Again, that's not necessarily something you need to do, but because this is a skinnier yarn and I want my rows to be the same height more or less as the other 3 rows, or the stripe to be the same height, I snuck in a row of half double crochet because it's still dense, and it just gives it a little bit more height that I needed. Hello, Carrie. Carrie has gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Carrie, and congratulations to Stephanie. Welcome, Stephanie. Welcome back to the family. Congratulations. I think I'll have a little sip of my coffee. Anna's suggesting I turn this into a little worm for my little sausage princess. I like that idea, but I will say that little girl has got enough toys right now. I have some fun pet toy ideas to make down the road. And I will hopefully be bringing those out, especially this summer when we don't really want to be doing heavy, hot things. I've got some fun toy ideas planned for the hot weather ahead, because I know the hot weather is coming. I know it. Okay, I've got 30 rows. Each stripe is 3 rows. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 30 rows is all you need. And if you're unsure, grab your little gift card, and you want to fold the bottom edge up to match with this would be, I guess, row 24, 6 rows down from the top, because those 6 rows are going to fold over and be your little flap. So I like to, at this point, just pin the bottom up, because when we start to sew, we're going to sew all the way down the edge. And then we're like, this is to sort of create the pocket before we do the other side, and then we put in the little buttonhole and whatnot. So I've got to get a button. So I'm going to go reach into my crafty cupboard and get my giant bin of pretty buttons. Make it something super cute for this. Let's see here. Come here, buttons. Button. Who's got the button? All right. I'll bring them both out. Button group number 1, button group number 2. Yeah, I think most of my pretty cute ones, these are kind of more functional buttons, so I guess I'll put that to the side. And this one has a lot more of the cute stuff in it. So let's see here. Buttons. Oh, Easter rabbits, so freaking cute. Gigantic big buttons, love them. Mermaids. I collect buttons, and I just don't know, I have nothing yet to do with them. Oh, and then a little package of, I might find what I'm looking for in here. I'll put that to the side. Oh, neons, neon little flowers, love it. Oh, these are so cute. These came off a set of pajamas that I had. Gee, one of those might be nice. Little sparkly pink buttons. Those are so cute. Nice plain pink buttons. I've got a couple of those. Oh, one left of those. That's kind of cute. Little wooden leaf. I've got little snowflakes. I've got little trees. Oh, I love buttons. I love buttons. Those are cute. Little like 3-leaf clovers. More pretty buttons. Another collection. Oh, hearts. That might just be too perfect. Is that 2 on the nose to use a heart button? And then I've got all these. That's a pretty one too. I like that as well. All right, I've got a lot to choose from here. Oh, and of course I've got crochet covered buttons that I've done. So, oh, and I have a little apple. Oh my gosh, these are cute. All right, I've already shortlisted like 40 of them. Oh, and I've got more little, those are cute too. Little orange leaves. Nice plain ones. All right, I'm gonna put these away. Oh, little rabbits. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Hello, Sharon. Welcome to the family. Welcome to Silk. Thank you. Crocus says, I could crochet a heart for a button. Yes, absolutely. If you don't have a button, you can always crochet a little bauble or some other cute little thing. But I do love to use up my buttons, so I'm going to use a button. I think these guys are all kind of big. I really like that pink flower. All right, let's put this to the side. So what have I got here? I've got sparkly pink. Love that. This one is like a cut button, which is really kind of pretty. It's got like a pretty little, that's pretty. Pink might not show up though, now that I look at it. I've got a red heart. I've got a whole bunch of those in different sizes, so one of those might be a good option. I kind of like this random little apple-shaped button I have, this little pink apple. I've got rabbits. Maybe a little too early for the rabbits. That pink flower. Oh man, that is something else. I really like that. And then of course I've got a whole bunch of nifty things in here. Stars. I've got a little round pinkish heart. My only concern is that the pink might not show up. This one would, because it's like practically neon. This one might be too small. I think the little apple's too small. This one, these ones are really pretty, but I think this pink just blends in too much. Actually, it'll be sitting down here on the red, won't it? I still don't think it shows up enough. You know what? It's going to be between the hearts or this little pink star or flower. Oh my gosh, that's cute. Oh, that is so cute. Please. All right, guys. Heart or flower? Let me open this up. Hello, Cindy Ann. Welcome back to the family. Bima suggests something in white. Do I have anything cute in white? Cute, cute, cute. White might show up better. I agree. So I've got this. So just to kind of give you the idea, that shows up. I like the little bling in the middle. That also is kind of eye-catching. And then I've got this heart, which honestly doesn't show up that well, does it? Let me see if I've got something in white. Eva makes a good point. Something plain white. Maybe not too plain and boring. Snowflake, this seems, well, I guess I could use it. Well, the snowflake's too small, I think. So those are pretty. I must have. I know I've got. Maybe I should reach into my other bin. I've also got some really nifty fabric covered buttons. Nothing really white in there. I'm seeing flower, 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 flower. I think it's going to be the flower. I don't think I can save it with, so that's an interesting fabric covered button. That's a fabric covered button. That's too big. That's a purple fabric covered button. That's too small. Ooh, that's a white lace covered button. These are all from my grandmother. These are too boring. Okay, so I think the heart is out. The lace covered button might be, I think this is too dark. Neon, 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 flower, flower, flower. You know what, guys? It's a flower. It's a flower. Why even waste my time further? Okay, so I will put this into its little package and I will give it a little Ziploc bag later. Marveloso. The pink flower it is. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that just yet. First, so that's the chosen flower. Great, done. Love it. Good choice, everybody. Let's turn this thing into an envelope and then I will put the little button on and its buttonhole. So I've got this folded up pretty much to where I want it. I want to angle the bottom. So the bottom edge of the foundation row is right in alignment with, it's easy to see, the space, the sort of the row where it changes from red to white. I've got 6 rows up top and that is enough for a flap. And I'm pinning it with my yarn needle just so it doesn't move on me, because now I want to turn and work down the side to turn this into the actual envelope. So here we go. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet in the edge of each of those first 6 rows. So nothing major, just single crochet right around the row edge, right around this right through the stitch or around the stitch, whatever you like. You know that each row is 3, or each stripe I should say is 3 rows, so you can just get 3 stitches in per row, or 3 stitches in per stripe I should say. So 6 rows, 6 single crochet. There you go. 1 single crochet per row edge. Now I want to work through both of these sides together. So same thing, I'm still going to single crochet in the edge of each row, but now I'm making sure that I'm getting both edges together. Oh, pink and red looks like candy. So single crochet through each row edge. I'm trying to decide if maybe I should switch to a heavier weight yarn. You know what? I'm going to do that. If you're in a yarn that's a good weight, keep going. I'm going to take this back. I'm going to fasten off this lightweight pink, and I'm going to change to my red because I just feel like the red's a little bit thicker and it'll make a better edge all the way along. So making changes on the fly. That's what it's all about here. This is a thicker, just a slightly heavier weight yarn. I think it'll make a better. So I'm going to join with a single crochet now around this row edge instead, because I don't have to chain one. I just want to join with a single crochet. It's still the same thing. It's a single crochet per row edge. This will probably be a little bit easier to see up front too. Single crochet in each row edge. That's 3 for the pink stripe, and now a single crochet in each row edge for the white stripe. And I'm working over top of the short tails. There we go. Okay, back to where I was. Now I'm working through both sides. So I'm going to get my hook through the edge of that row and through this row, and I'm still working over top of those little short tails. And now same thing. It's a single crochet in each row edge, but now I'm working through both sides, and I'm making sure I'm getting both sides as I go. That's a little bit better. That's a little thicker. Okay, yeah, I like that. You can always leave your tails out and weave them in later. I literally know what I've got. I have something in mind for this envelope already, so I'm not too concerned about the little tails. Oh, yeah, that's a much better choice. Much better to go with the thicker yarn. And same thing. Single crochet through both sides. 1 single crochet per row edge. I'll get that tucked in there. And if you've got little bits hanging out at the end, just make sure you weave them in or trim the edges. That looks nice and neat and tidy. There's a little tail. I'll get rid of that in a minute. So that's it all the way down. I think I'll just slip stitch in the same place just to kind of make that disappear. All right, that'll be about 18 stitches all the way down. I'm going to fasten off. And I'll flip this. I'm going to weave that in later because my yarn needle is still holding that in place. But you know what? I will get rid of this little tail. And okay, I'll weave that in a bit. Yeah, that looks nice and neat. Okay, same thing. Over here, I'm going to now stitch up the other side. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to join my yarn with a slip stitch because I kind of ended with a slip stitch over here. So for continuity, I'm just going to do the same thing. And I'm going to single crochet right through both sides to get that started. Same thing. I'm making sure I'm getting through both sides as I go. I want to make sure I don't miss any row edges. This is the part that makes the whole thing stay together. So you want to spend a little time making sure you don't miss any. You don't accidentally miss getting all the way through both sides and you have like a gap. No gaps. We don't want any gaps. I want to make sure I'm getting, there we go, enough of that stitch that it's secure. And I will weave in that little short tail in a minute. Okay, so I'm back up. That gives me 3 more, I should say 6 more rows. So that means there's 6 more single crochets left to go. Because I want to do 1 per row edge. That little wiggly tail has been trying to get my attention this entire time. There we go. And that's that. So no fastening off yet. I can take my yarn needle out. That has done its little job. I will get this woven in though. Allison, thank you so much for picking up the pattern. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. I really appreciate it. We both do. It certainly helps a lot. It It keeps us on the air, literally. So thank you for picking up a pattern. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and sharing. That helps an awful lot too. Thank you so much to our members for joining and supporting us that way. We really appreciate you guys in all the ways that you help. You're all wonderful, and we appreciate you all. And we just love Mondays. You guys have made Mondays so much fun. I'm just going to get all my little tails woven in here now before I finish. I might just put that one down a little bit. There we go. And this guy, I'm going to weave this one in back here. Weaving in this tail will also give me an opportunity to just kind of like cinch up some of these stitches a little bit. So I can tuck this in. There we go. All the way up to the top, and then I'll turn around and go back down. Thank you, Dawn. Yes, please everybody hit the thumbs up button. It really does help. Thank you. It tells the algorithm that people actually enjoy the live stream, and it just puts it in other people's feed. So for example, if you're already subscribed, but you don't see us, it's because you're probably just looking at the home feed, and your home feed doesn't always get, you don't always get served people that you're already subscribed to in your home feed. Which is an interesting choice on the part of YouTube, but yeah, such as it is, they want to try and make sure you don't miss new and interesting channels that you might be interested in. So I can see that angle too. Okay. Now we are going to work across the top, put in our button hole, and then I'm going to attach my button. Great choice, guys. That is just the happiest little button. I completely forgot I had that in my collection. What a happy button. Okay, I'm at the corner. I'm going to chain one. And what you basically want to do is just figure out, like I have 21 stitches across the top. I want to make sure I single crochet all the way over to the middle, basically chain a little buttonhole, and then just keep on going. I'm not skipping any stitches. So I'm going to single crochet in the first like 10 single crochet. I'm going to single crochet across the first 10 or eyeball it over to the middle. There's no extremely important instructions here. Yeah, that's the middle. So let's say that's stitch number 11. Yeah, stitch 10. I'm going to chain 2, and I think that won't be big enough, so let's try 3. So the whole idea is that I'm going to create a little buttonhole, and I'm going to keep on single crocheting. So if 3 single crochets that feels pretty stretchy. Will it get through these nifty little... Yeah, that's enough. The thing with a buttonhole is you want it to be almost, like you almost have to work at getting the button through it. That way you know it won't come undone. So 3 chains is good for me there. And then I'm just going to keep single crocheting in each remaining stitch all the way across. And I'm going to chain 1 because I did the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to slip stitch to the first stitch of the row to join. All right. Snipping my yarn, fastening off, and I'm going to weave that tail in as well. I'm going to weave it in over here. I'm going to go back the way I came. And I'm going to weave it underneath all of these little stitches. Trying to keep the same colored tail, or the tails tucked in to stitches of the same color, because they show a little less, and they also help to sort of thicken the stitch that you're pulling it underneath, which also makes that a little bit tighter, so it shouldn't want to come undone. All right, all the way over to the buttonhole. I'm going to double back, and that should be that. And then we stitch on the button. All right. So I've got an envelope. Oh, this is really cute. How candy, how very candy-like. Gee, you could tuck some money in there. You could tuck some candies in there. Now I want to sew on my button. I've got a pre-threaded, let's see here, I think that's enough. I'm going to use blue. If you've got the same colored thread, I highly recommend it. I'm going to use blue though, because that's what I've got lying here, and it should be a little easier for you to see too. All you want to do is fold your flap down and decide whereabouts you think your button should be. That's where I think it should be. So right on this stitch here. So I've doubled up my thread. I just brought the ends together and knotted it. So I'm going to put my needle right through that just so it kind of grabs. And then I'm going to sew back and forth through. Let's see here. Top down? Sure. I'm going to sew back and forth through the actual envelope, but I want to make sure that I don't accidentally go through both sides because I don't want to sew my envelope together. And I'm mostly going to concentrate these stitches over like basically the width of one single crochet stitch. And I will get in as many little stitches as I can with this little bit of yarn or thread, which I think should be enough. That's an interesting shank on the back of that button. It's really long and rectangular. All right, I want to make sure I still have enough yarn or thread left to actually create a little knot. So I'm going to bring my needle through the inside, and basically what I do is I just leave a little knot, and then because I've left myself very little yarn, I'm going to see if I can pull my needle backwards to create a little knot. Looks like I was able to do that. And then if I'm ever unsure, this is a little something I like to do. I'm going to snip my yarn right at the edge of the needle, put my needle aside. Actually, no, I'm going to use my needle here in a second. I'm just going to stick it in the top of that. I'm going to separate my two threads. This is like probably overkill, but it's something I do. I'm going to thread one end back up into the needle, provided I can do that. There we go. Come on. There we go. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to tuck it half of a stitch, and I don't really need it past that. And then I'm going to take those two little ends and I'm going to knot them together several times. And that just assures me that my thread is well and knotted and not going to come undone. And I especially am concerned, like I don't want to lose that pretty button. And it's got, like I said, a kind of a unique back to it. So I want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to just, this is fiddly, but I'm going to, because I had so little thread and I'm just sort of, I'm trying to do my best to use up scraps to the tiny little micro scrap. I want to throw out as little as I possibly can. There we go. So I think 3 tight little knots is enough. And then I'll just trim those 2 little tails of thread and make sure that my needle is back in its little spot so it doesn't get lost. Okay, let's give it a test. Yep, that works just fine. And now it definitely will not come undone. And there we go. What a sweet little envelope. Okay, that is a crochet envelope. Takes you about an hour and a half to do, especially if you're changing colors. If you're not changing colors, let's say you've got like a self-striping yarn like this one, you just chain one turn at the end of every row and single crochet for 30 rows. If you're using a thinner weight yarn, you can half double crochet instead of single crochet. You can just squeeze in the odd row of half double crochet like I did if you want to get the odd stripe up to match. It's up to you. You just want to make sure that it fits the card that you're going to put in here. In this case, I think I could tuck in some money, some candies, like some nice little flat candies or something. And these make great little additions. It's like part of the gift, you know, it's so cute. So if you've got scraps to use up, this is a great way to use them because the fiber doesn't matter. You can technically mix your weights. You can fiddle with the hook size. You can use up those singular pretty buttons that you might have. Make up a handful and put them in your Make-A-Hit stash. And then if you need an envelope, you know, because you're physically bringing a gift or you just want to give somebody a gift card, this makes it so much sweeter. Imagine this all in shades of white and sparkle with a really fancy silver button as a money or a gift card envelope for a wedding. Like, I just think that would be so pretty. And I know wedding season will be coming eventually. All in pastels for Easter, you know, all in Christmas colors for Christmas. Some of these tucked onto the tree, you know, with maybe somebody's name kind of like on it. This is just one of those super all-purpose projects that uses up your scraps. You know, you can use your pretty little buttons. They don't take very long. They're a nice way to kind of get back into the rhythm of crocheting. You warm up your hands. You don't have to worry about, you know, perfect tension. You don't have to worry about perfect stitch count. It's a really flexible little pattern, and I hope you guys find it useful down the road. I have plans for this one already, which you may or may not see in an upcoming video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, the pattern for this is written up. It's in our Etsy shop. It's one of our bargain patterns. We've got it up front in the shop. It's featured. So a gigantic thank you to everybody who picked up a copy. And if you want to pick up a copy, it'll be there. And it's it'll always be there, hopefully. We've not intentions of taking it down. We do have a more concise tutorial for this that we did 10 years ago. So this is like a big anniversary for this little pattern. 10 years ago we did this tutorial back in 2015, February, and we'll make sure that's linked in the description box down below if you want to see the original tutorial in its much more succinct fashion. And I just did 2 colors alternating, but like I said, you can do multiple colors, just one length of yarn. The sky is the limit, and it always will be for crochet. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you on Friday. Remember, the community tab is now called the post tab. I'm going to put out a little video just to help everybody who might be wondering what happened, just to, you know, kind of point everybody in the right direction. And timestamp it, because I'm sure YouTube will change their minds on it yet again down the road. But, you know, it's good to have everybody on the same page, so look forward to that. And if you see anybody kind of confused, just let them know. I will give Penelope a kiss. Thank you, Marie. And a little snuggle for everybody. And we'll see you guys soon here. So thank you for hanging out. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay crafty, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.